everyone, it's Carissa at Sprinkled with Glitter, and I am here with a project for you. It's a card project for, the theme is Be My Valentine, and we, as a design team, are posting over on mypinkstamper.com today, so you can see the entire design team post over there with everybody's projects. But it was just, the challenge was to use some Cricut cuts and any My Pink Stamper stamp set and make a Valentine project. So I kind of wanted to create something that wasn't necessarily a romantic Valentine's Day project, but something that could be used for children in your life, for friends in your life, for teachers, and it could be used for a significant other as well. So I'm going to be using the My Pink Stamper Fabulous Phrases stamp set. This one that says sending you lots of love, that's the stamp I'm going to be using. And it's right here. I'm going to set it aside right now because I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. Now, the cuts that I'm using for this project, I have this little banner shape. It is from the Everyday Pop-Up Cards, and it's on a phrase option. So these pieces here, and then these hearts cut at 4 1/4 and 4 1/2 are from the Art Philosophy cartridge. This is cut at 1 3/4, the banner. So I have my card base here, and I don't know if you can see this, but I went ahead and ran my card base through my Vagabond. I have a Vagabond to deboss it. Now, normally this would be the side that you would use where the image is raised. I'm going to go ahead and use the debossed side of it. That was my plan all along. And I have this paper here. So let's get started assembling some of this. I'm not exactly sure I have my pieces and I kind of have an idea in my head, but I'm not sure how it's all going to come together. So I have some paper here. This is all the paper, the pattern paper that you see is from the Echo Park Dots and Stripes Metropolitan Collection. And I have some of the red that I have cut from my hearts and some of the gray. So I'm using this postage edge punch here to punch the edge of this. And I realize that there are some hearts punched out of that, but I'm going to use so little of this on the edge that you're not even going to see that when I mount it. So it's probably going to mount behind just like that and not even going to see that. I'm going to go ahead and punch the gray one as well because I am not entirely sure if I'm going to use one or both. We will see. To go ahead and use the gray. Now this polka dot portion is actually cut at 3 1/2 by, I believe it's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 3/4. So there's that, but I am going to end up cutting it down. But first what I'll do is I'll go ahead and mount this gray strip along the edge of that so I can kind of determine how much I need to cut off of this. So I'll go ahead and trim that down, and I think I just maybe need to take maybe 1/4 inch off of this side, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And since I don't know whether or not I want this on dimensional adhesive yet, I'm going to go ahead and start putting together my sentiment piece. And I'll start by stamping that. And because I have a curved banner here, I want to make my sentiment curve to match that banner. So I turn my sentiment piece over. So this is actually the reverse. Okay, and this will make more sense why I'm doing it just like that, because I'm actually shaping the sentiment in reverse too. So I'm just putting my your block, or in this case my stamp press, down to kind of shape that sentiment right along the edge there. Okay, and then I'm going to flip this back over to the right side to stamp it. Now that should be just right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and ink it up. This is Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And press it down. And I have a perfectly stamped sentiment. can start putting this together. I think I am going to, there's probably going to end up being a lot of dimension on this card. I'm not totally sure where I'm going altogether yet, so we'll just see. But I'm going to put this on dimensional adhesive on that shadow piece. This little heart that goes on there. And I am just going to glue this little guy down because I think what I might end up doing is adding a little glitter to this little guy. So now my plan is to have these two hearts on here, and this one could actually mount on top to make a shadow. It's not the shadow feature, it's just cut 1/4 of an inch larger. But what I think I'm going to do after playing with this is go ahead and mount them like that. So I'm going to mount the gray one right where it is, and I'm going to mount that flat onto my card piece that I have here. Okay. And then this little guy, I think I'm going to pop up on top of that. Okay, and rather than pop this up again over that heart, because I'd have to put 2 layers, I'm going to go ahead and put dimensional adhesive along these edges, which will raise it up to the height of that heart. And then I'm going to put some regular HEG right in the middle. And then I'm just using my grid mat here to kind of make sure that this is even across there. And then I'm going to press it down. So there is that portion of my card. And I'm trying to decide, I have some buttons set aside here, and I have some twine over here, but I'm just kind of really liking the simplicity. I mean, there's plenty on it, but it's a very simple card as well. Very clean looking. I'm going to just see what happens if I kind of experiment with a little bit of this twine here. Doesn't want to go underneath there for me. Okay, so I have that wrapped, and then rather than tie a bow or a knot on the front of this, I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and flip this over. You can kind of trim these ends here. And then I'm just going to glue dot, or even HEG would work, these ends down to keep them where I want them. Okay, and I have this down on the front of the card now, but I'm kind of feeling like I just want some sort of element over on this corner. So what I'm going to do is I have this little heart punch here. I'm going to punch out 3 of these blue little hearts. And this is actually the reverse side of that big polka dot paper, these stripes here. And I think I am just going to place these kind of right up here in the corner of that. And I'll go ahead and use dimensionals on those. But since they are, the hearts I already know are too small for the regular size dimensionals, I'm going to go ahead and cut some of these down. Okay, so my final finishing touch on this card, and I have to say I debated on whether or not to do glitter or what to do, but I'm going to go ahead and use some of this Crystal Effects. I just really like the cleanness of this card, and I want some sort of special element, but I didn't feel like glitter was the right choice. So I'm going to go ahead and coat these 4 smaller hearts with this Glossy Accents or Crystal Effects. There's one by both names on the market, and that just gives a little special touch to the front of this card without the glitter, and it gives it some shine and some pizzazz. and just keeps it really clean and nice looking. And it looks milky right now, but it will dry clear. Okay, and there is my Valentine's project for the My Pink Stamper January Design Team post. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.